An elderly mom disappears. A family waits in terrible pain. And one single sentence now might make this case spread to other countries. As the search for Nancy Guthrie gets more intense, investigators are working super fast against time and against a warning that says this missing person case could be way bigger than anyone first thought. In a shocking new twist that has everyone surprised in this ongoing investigation, fresh clues have come up showing this case might go outside the United States. The words, "Be prepared to go international," have now become the main thing people are talking about in what many call one of the strangest missing person cases in recent Arizona history. Just when investigators thought they were getting close to answers, a mysterious message has raised the chance that finding the 84-year-old mother of NBC's Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie could need help and teamwork from other countries. As we reach the 14th day since Nancy Guthrie was last seen at her Tucson home, police activity has gone crazy with SWAT teams doing search warrants in the middle of the night. Multiple people got held for questioning. DNA evidence got found that doesn't match anyone in the family's group, and a reward that has doubled to $100,000. What makes this case especially scary is how the upsetting details keep getting worse. Surveillance video shows a person wearing a mask who carefully covers up security cameras on purpose. Ransom demands adding up to $6 million have been sent. Anonymous emails to news outlets say they know inside details about who the kidnapper is. And now the frightening idea that Nancy may have been taken across the border into Mexico. The newest big shock comes from Harvey Levin, founder of TMZ, who went on Fox News to share what was in a third email his team got from someone saying they have information about Nancy Guthrie's kidnapper. His message, which came on Friday, February 14, 2026, marks a big step up in this already very complicated investigation. According to Levin, who has talked directly with police the whole time, the FBI is taking these emails very seriously. The person who sent this third email wants $50,000 in Bitcoin, which is half of the new bigger reward money, to right away give the name of what they call the main person involved, plus tracking details. Using the words main individual hints that more than one person might be part of Nancy's kidnapping. What makes this message especially worrying is the last line that tells police to be ready to go international. Harvey Levin said that if this message is real, the mention almost surely means Mexico, because Tucson is so close to the border. The city is about 60 miles north of the Mexican border, a distance that takes around 1 hour by car, so a vehicle leaving Nancy's home early in the morning on February 1st could have gotten to the border before the sun came up. This scary new twist follows very heavy police work that happened overnight from February 13th into February 14th, when a Pima County Sheriff's Department SWAT team, working closely with FBI agents, carried out a search warrant at a house about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. The choice to send in a SWAT team shows that police had real worries about possible danger or that evidence could get destroyed fast. According to people who talked to Fox News, 3 people got held during this action. Specifically, 2 men and one of their mothers. In another event that seems connected, police did a traffic stop in a nearby Culver's restaurant parking lot, holding the driver of a Range Rover. The fancy car got searched completely with officers taking things out and hiding their work from people watching before getting the vehicle towed for deep forensic checks. However, in a statement that upset many people hoping for a big break, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos told Fox News that no arrests happened and no one is still being held. The Pima County Sheriff's Office put out a carefully written statement saying that because this is a joint investigation being done at the request of the FBI, no more details would be shared right now. To really get this case, we have to go back to the start. Nancy Guthrie is an 84-year-old woman who lives by herself in the Tucson area. She was last seen on the evening of January 31, 2026. Because she lived on her own and kept her own routine, no one noticed she was gone right away. It was not until February 1st that family members, who could not reach her by phone, asked local police to do a wellness check at her house. When deputies got there, they found Nancy was not home, and there were signs showing she did not leave on her own. Evidence showed someone had come into the home. What started as a missing person search quickly turned into a suspected kidnapping case when family members said they got ransom demands totaling $6 million for Nancy's safe return. The case got its biggest public moment earlier this week when the Pima County Sheriff's Department and FBI together released surveillance video taken by a Nest security camera at Nancy's front door. The video shows a masked person coming up to the house at night and on purpose trying to block the camera by moving potted flowers around. The suspect is described as a man about 5'9" to 5'10" inches tall, with an average body, wearing dark clothes, and carrying a special black 25-liter Ozark Trail Hiker Pack backpack. What surprised investigators was how calm the suspect acted, even though the crime was so serious. His actions did not look sneaky like you would expect, suggesting either he watched the place a lot before or he had some connection. The house. Releasing this video was a big change in plan. At first, Sheriff Chris Nanos was upset about not having much video evidence. This changed a lot after the FBI got more involved. Within 24 hours, the important surveillance video was gotten, apparently from cloud servers that Nest keeps. The quick win showed how helpful federal help is for dealing with tech and legal rules to get digital proof. The choice to show this video to the public was not easy. Police usually like to keep such evidence secret, but investigators decided that the chance for people to recognize the person was worth the risks. This risk worked really well. Within 24 hours of putting out the video, the tip lines together got more than 4,000 tips from worried people. The total has now gone over 30,000 messages coming in by phone calls, emails, and social media. This huge response both proves the choice was right and makes very big problems for investigators who have to sort through and check all this huge amount of information. Making the investigation even harder is DNA evidence found on Nancy's property. Sheriff Nanos confirmed that forensic experts found DNA that does not match Nancy or anyone who normally spends time with her. While the sheriff would not say exactly where this DNA came from, its presence could be very important evidence. The DNA has probably been put into CODIS, the combined DNA index system that the FBI runs. If the person has any past criminal record where DNA was taken, investigators might quickly get a name and background details. If there is no match, investigators can use forensic genetic genealogy, comparing the DNA with regular people's genealogy databases to maybe find relatives and make a family tree that leads to the suspect. Retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent James Galliano, giving expert thoughts from outside Nancy's home, thinks investigators will go back to the house for more searches. He pointed out that the southwestern house style with heavy oak doors and decorative iron railings makes it unlikely someone broke in through the front door, even though the video might make it look that way. Galliano also stressed how tough the desert land around the house is. In daytime you can see everything clearly, but at night it gets almost completely dark. This suggests whoever took Nancy either knew the property very well or did a lot of watching ahead of time. Being able to move through this land in total darkness while handling a victim strongly points to planning instead of a random crime. Galliano said police will do more searches in the desert area around for any evidence that might have been dropped or thrown away. From cigarette butts with DNA to thrown-away gloves or tools, the connection between local and federal police has become its own side story. Reports have come out suggesting some tension between the Pima County Sheriff's Department and FBI, with claims that local police held back evidence. Sheriff Nanos strongly denied these claims in an emotional interview, calling such ideas ridiculous and stressing decades of good teamwork. He noted that Pima County deputies work at FBI headquarters as part of joint task forces that started before this case. Despite these promises, the repeated words "at the request of the FBI" in official statements suggest federal agents have taken the main coordinating role, bringing special forensic tools, national databases, and experience in tough investigations. The strange messages that TMZ got have added more mystery. According to Harvey Levin, TMZ first got a ransom note days after Nancy's disappearance, demanding $6 million. Then, starting series. Days ago, TMZ got emails from what seems like a different person saying they are not the kidnapper, but someone who knows about the kidnapper's identity. The first email asked for cryptocurrency payment. When no answer came, a second email came, showing they were getting impatient. The third email made both the tone and the demands stronger. The sender called the reward increase a cheap move and said 3 strikes and you're out, meaning this would be their last message. The email demanded the first $50,000 in Bitcoin, promising to give right away the name of the main individual along with tracking information before ending with the warning to prepare to go international. Harvey Levin, speaking as both a journalist and a lawyer, explained why TMZ should not pay the demanded money. Based on talks with police, paying could mess up the official investigation plans. There must be good reasons why the original $6 million ransom has not been paid even though the family has money. Levin stressed that the FBI is very interested in these messages, that TMZ has given full copies to investigators, and that his team is helping fully with technical efforts to trace who sent them. The question of whether these messages are real is still open. Levin admitted that the writing style in the third email looks noticeably different from the first two, raising questions about who wrote them. However, police have to treat each one as possibly real because ignoring a true lead could be terrible. This is a basic problem in big famous investigations. Among the more than 30,000 tips that came in, investigators have to assume many come from people with no real information who still think they saw something important, from people wanting attention to feel special or from scammers hoping to get money. Figuring out real leads means checking each tip for how specific it is, how useful it can be, how trustworthy the source seems if possible, and whether it matches other evidence. Each tip gets logged into a database, given a tracking number, and sent to the right people to look at. To handle this huge amount, investigators have set up an incident command system, splitting jobs among special teams that handle decisions, operations, intelligence review, and support. Sheriff Nanos has shown smart thinking by using the Neighbors app, a community platform connected to Ring cameras, to talk directly with people living within a 2-mile area around Nancy's home, asking them to check their security footage from January 31st. The 2-mile area matches what investigators think are the likely paths used to come to and leave Nancy's residence. The neighborhood, while part of bigger Tucson, has few ways in and out because of the land and roads. Any car going to or from her home would almost surely go through certain intersections or main roads in this zone. By getting footage from many spots, investigators can maybe track suspicious car movements. This method has created more video evidence that is now being looked at. The white tent that showed up for a short time outside Nancy's entrance earlier this week caused a lot of guessing. Crime scene tents protect evidence and keep the investigation private from people and media cameras while also shielding from weather. The tent appeared out of nowhere and got taken down within hours, suggesting whatever needed checking got done fast. Former police officials think investigators may have gotten new information pointing to a certain spot that needed closer looking with special methods like lights that show cleaned up biological fluids, or that some areas needed testing in different ways. The quick removal could also mean the check did not find it what they hoped, so they moved resources to other things. The search warrant action 2 miles from Nancy's home is one of the biggest steps forward. The closeness puts it inside the area investigators have marked as important. The warrant needed a detailed statement shown to a judge proving good reason that a crime happened and evidence would be at that place. Sending SWAT shows worries about possible guns or evidence getting destroyed. Doing the warrant at night when people would likely be home suggests police wanted to meet whoever was there. Holding 3 people, even though it did not lead to arrests, gave investigators important chances to talk to them. Holding someone during a warrant needs only reasonable suspicion, instead of the higher standard needed for arrest. During holding, officers can question people who might give helpful information, even if they do not get charged later. The separate traffic stop at the Culver's parking lot, happening at the same time as the warrant nearby, strongly points to teamwork. The Range Rover involved is a luxury car that would work well for driving in desert land around Nancy's home. The deep search and towing for detailed forensic work suggests investigators think it may have been used in Nancy's kidnapping or moving her. Cars used in crimes often hold key evidence from DNA on surfaces to fibers, dirt or plant bits to digital records with GPS history and phone connections. The driver got taken for questioning, but not arrested. Not making arrests does not mean the work failed or people are cleared. It means police do not yet have enough solid proof for official charges. Investigators often like to keep building the case until they are completely sure they can prove guilt, instead of arresting too soon. The reward going up to $100,000 shows both how urgent things are as time goes by and how money rewards can push people to speak up, even if they were hesitant. People hold back for many reasons besides not knowing anything, from being afraid of payback to having tricky history with police, to just not wanting the stress and attention. $100,000 is money that can change a life and can overcome those worries. While bigger rewards do not always mean better tips, they usually bring in way more tips. And with more tips comes a better chance that someone with real information will decide to come forward. The reward is only for information that leads to finding Nancy's location and arresting those responsible. That means just giving a tip is not enough. The information has to be specific and correct enough to let investigators find Nancy and name suspects. As this investigation keeps going, it shows both how much investigative tools have improved and how hard modern criminal cases still are. Police have access to DNA testing, digital evidence work, huge camera networks, cell phone location tracking, and face recognition tech. Even with all these tools, information from people stays the most important. Somewhere, someone knows something about Nancy's disappearance. Maybe they saw something strange that night, have doubts about someone they know, heard something in a talk that now seems important, or have some side connection to what happened. It is often these human pieces that finally solve cases in a big way. The warning to prepare to go international adds serious extra difficulty. If Nancy has been moved across the border into Mexico, everything gets much harder. While the U.S. and Mexico have teamwork agreements for police, including treaties for legal help and extradition. Who is in charge gets really complicated when crimes cross country lines. Mexican police would need official notice and to be part of the partnership. Any work on Mexican land must be done by or with Mexican permission. Evidence collection has to follow rules that work under Mexican law. These are not just paperwork problems, but basic parts of each country's control. The real-world challenges are huge. Wide desert areas along the Arizona-Mexico border give lots of chances for secret crossings. While big border crossings are watched closely, far-away desert spots have little monitoring. Drug groups and people smuggling networks have worked for decades, setting up paths, safe places, and corruption to help illegal crossings. If the people who took Nancy have ties to these groups, they might have resources that make finding and getting her back much harder. Tucson is 60 miles from the border, about a 1-hour drive. A car leaving Nancy's home early on February 1st could have reached the border before sunrise during dark hours that help hide illegal crossings. The Guthrie family has stayed mostly quiet, putting out only short statements showing their pain and thanks for police work. Savannah Guthrie has not been on her Today Show job during this hard time. The choice to stay low-key, even if it seems odd, is usually decided together with police and crisis experts who know that family statements can sometimes make investigations harder or give useful details to the bad guys that could hurt the victim. The family's money and fame, while giving them resources, may have made Nancy a target. The $6 million ransom suggests whoever took Nancy thinks the family can and will pay that much. Whether the ransom was meant seriously or just to mislead is still unknown. Tonight, as investigators keep working through the early morning following the newest leads, Nancy Guthrie's exact location is still unknown. Every hour that passes brings more urgency to a case that has hundreds of law enforcement people working non-stop. The mix of forensic testing, old-school detective work, teamwork between agencies, and help from the public shows the full range of today's criminal investigation. The warning about international sides suggests the investigation may be starting a new, much harder stage that needs resources and skills going beyond what local agencies can do by themselves. As America watches and waits, one elderly woman stays missing. Her family stays in deep pain and in vow. Investigators stay determined to solve this mystery and bring Nancy home. The coming days will be very important as authorities check if the communications are real. Follow up on leads from the overnight work. Keep doing forensic tests. And build a case that will not only find Nancy Guthrie, but make sure those who took her face full responsibility under the law.